Hello. What time is it? Just going to say good morning, good afternoon. I'll just wait for a few people to come in first. We'll see before I start. Just warm up with a brew. What a beautiful day it is today. Sun shining. I've got some fun things to do after this, which is going to be a laugh, which I'll probably tell you tomorrow. And we're going to go into Dolly's, if Amanda's there, hi. Dolly's diary. Dolly's own bank of memories that are around me all the time. But I actually am going to delve into a Dolly story, a Dolly's diary. I think I might start doing some stuff on that, and we'll call it Dolly's Diaries of from the past and in the future, which could be my own Akashic records as well, but this is an actual one from the past. So I'll just wait and see if a few more people come in. I wonder who's there, the 3 people that are there right now. Let me just see if that's a bit too... The sun in my eyes a little bit there, so does this need putting up a little bit like that? So this is going to be a hair chat, but it also goes into the whole, because it was a spiritual thing for me anyway, or hair's always been a thing for me actually since I've been younger girl. I'm going to tell you a few little stories, and then my whole thing with hair that most women will agree with, because it's what most women do. I'm here just in the nick of time. Yes, Michael Jackson is here, or should I say Fiona. So if you dare say hi, because I get lurkers as well, but that's fine. But this is my story, so my diary pages, and that's what I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to have some things called Dolly's Diaries. Hi, Jamone. So I'll just chat, because whoever will come in at whatever time, or they can check it later. So there was a time, I've always had a thing with hair. I'm a woman, and lots of women, like to have different hairstyles. If you go back on one of my first videos on YouTube, I had really short hair. Before that, I had long hair, which was about down here, which is probably the length I got it at when I got it dreaded. But I'll go into that in a bit, because this is the whole hair journey from being younger. So my sister's 2 years younger than me, and you've got to laugh at the things you do in the past. Oh, but I am going to say this. And my mum didn't find out for years after, and she was mortified. She was like, Janine, how could you? How could you blame somebody else? And I was like, oh, because I didn't want to get told off. Me and my sister, when we were younger, we used to live near a forest. We were in the army, and army kids, and we were brought up in nature and around nature. So there's one of my connections to nature right from the beginning, but that's another story. But where we lived down south, well, I don't say down south, it's mad. There was a swamp near where we lived. Right near where we lived, there was none of this play safe sort of, oh, it's got to have a gate round it, a fence round it, and this, that. Literally, there was a swamp near a children's playing park where you could literally just fall into the swamp, and we literally did. My sister used to fall in it all the time. But the kids we used to hang around with on the army bases were all different ages, and all, we all just got along, and they'd get us out, and it was just mad. But it's not about that. But we were sat on this little park one day. We were only young. Remember, we were only young. My sister might have been about 4. This is when we just used to run around everywhere. No one was bothered about danger stranger and all that. But we were on a park right near our house with some other kids, and we decided to play hairdressers. Now, I used to want to be a hairdresser. That's why I've had a thing with hair for a very long time. And I don't know who. Give me the scissors. Now, some of you will resonate with this story out there, and you'll probably laugh, because I know some of you have done this. And if you haven't done it to your sister, you've done it to yourself. I heard a story at the playground the other day where someone had cut the daughter had got a pair of scissors and cut her own fringe up to her. We've all had that silly hairstyle, or somebody's had that silly hairstyle. So I know you'll probably start laughing when you hear this, because if you didn't do it to someone else, you did it to yourself. got hold of these scissors. And if you're there, please come and say hiya, because there's 8 people in chat there, look, watching. I was given these scissors. I don't know if I'd got them from home or someone again. We decided to play hairdressers. I know you're going to guess what's coming. So I decided to give my sister not just a pretend haircut, but an actual real haircut. You have to laugh now. We've all laughed about this, so that's been released, you know. Hi, Von Craig. I don't know. Hi, Josephine. And if you relate to this, put a heart in, because I know some of you will, now and after. I don't know what my sister's hair length was at this time, and she was only about 4. Hi, Lois. Say it was here. I don't know where it was. Can't remember that bit, but I chopped it like chunks, you know, like chopped a bit of the fringe off, took a chunk out there, you know, hairdressing. Didn't even think anything like until I got home. She had chunks missing out of her hair. So anyway, long story short, she had to go and have all the hair cut off into an elfin short crop. But because my sister's so petite and so tiny, it actually really suited her. Luckily. And you know, she was a cute little thing, and she still is beautiful, you know. It suited her, so it was like, oh. But maybe me at the time, you know, kids, it was like, oh my God, who else can I blame it on? Because we do blame people, you know. Who can I blame it on? I can't tell my mum it was me. She's going to go mad. And I was she must have been about 3 or 4, and I was 2 years older. So it was like, I'll blame my best mate at the time, this girl called Tammy at the time, years ago. So I went, oh, she had these scissors in there. She just chopped her hair and blah, 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 blah. And I can't remember what happened, but that was the story, and it was blamed it was blamed on this other girl till a few years back, when I actually told my mum. I went, oh, do you remember when we were younger? And that girl chopped my sister's hair off. Actually, it was me, and she was like, Janine, oh my God. Like, I was like, I know, but I mean, we laugh about it now, but we've all either chopped someone else's hair at some point, maybe, or you've actually, and I've probably done this to myself as well. No, I have done this to myself. What we're talking about. Got a pair of scissors when you were younger and probably like chopped your fringe off or chopped a chunk off, thinking you just get mesmerised by scissors. I've heard a lot of these stories, you know, of kids at school. I heard one the other week where a woman said, I couldn't believe it. She got the scissors and she just got a fringe and went like that, and she's had to have this sort of headband on her head because she's got this fringe missing here. Everybody does. You'll hear stories of that all the time. That's what I used to do to my Barbies, yeah. They all got punk rocker hairstyles because you cut it off and messed it up, and they had punk rocker hairstyles in the end. I tried to cut my fringe once as well, terrible idea. That's what I mean. So I know you'll all relate to this, because it's true life, and when it's true life, it resonates for everyone else, because you know you would have done it. I cut my own fringe now, and I've cut my own fringe, my own hair for a long time, but when you're younger, you just mess it up. So I've always had this thing with hair. Now, in the past, some of you might resonate with this, and I'm going to be really truthful about this right now, because I know some of you may resonate. When I was younger, you go through all these, well, maybe some people don't, but I know a lot do, especially in your teenage years of, you know, you're not knowing who you are. I mean, we still haven't been knowing who we are we? You put labels on, and she's pretty, and you think you're not, because you're looking at others and you're not looking within yourself. This is why I feel so much stronger now than obviously when I was coming up in my teenage years. So, oh dear, I did it again, didn't I? I had my hair cut short, and then I thought, why did I have my hair cut short? I grew it out. And then in secondary school, for some reason, my hair, every time my hair got about here, it was like, oh, I need to cut my hair. So I started cutting my hair, then it went a bit like this and it went a bit like that, and then I had to have it all cut off and grow it all out again, like this big journey. And it's quite hard, I'd say, for a woman to have the hair longer than have it cut off short. It's quite, I didn't feel feminine at the time, but I was going through this whole stage of, I know some of you women out there, maybe men will resonate with what I'm saying. This isn't me now, this was just thoughts going through my head when I was younger. Oh my God, you're not good enough for men. You're not good looking enough, you're ugly, nobody likes you. All this stupid stuff. And it wasn't, it was probably because I was looking at other people at the time. And the only way I thought I could change myself is cutting my hair would do something. Because if you think about it, for a lot of women, when they go through relationships and stuff, after maybe not so good relationship, they go and like bleach the hair or brighten it up or colour it a different colour or put it darker or cut it or try to have a transformation on the outside because there's something going on within the inside. Obviously, this is what I can see now. So It's that thing of, say it's a relationship with a man, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair. So they try and do something to feel like they've changed when really within they haven't, because they're not looking at what the true, where that true feeling's coming from, which is what we've been talking about. We will be talking about tomorrow, you know, with the stuff we're talking about. Yeah, afros are gorgeous. You had a half afro. Yeah, we have many different styles. So there's been all that, you know, long hair, short hair, long hair, dye it this colour, dye it that colour, because it's like if we can, we think if we're going to, women think if they're going to change their hair and they're going to have this miraculous hairstyle, it's going to change them. But we know it doesn't. But this hairstyle, so like I said, if you go back to the first, very first video, like Maori, Effie Maori said he did go back. I had very short hair because I'd had an experience with bleach that I did myself, messing about with my hair again. And I messed my hair up and had to have it all cut off. And when I meant cut off, that was a little bit longer in my first video. I mean like that. So if you're a woman, you think you could be confident and going around with hair like that, ooh, it was pretty difficult. It was still a growth though, within me. And so is this. So if you see a lot of videos from me on YouTube, I had short hair going into a bob, going into dark hair, red hair. My hair's naturally curly anyway. This is another reason why I had it dreaded. Many different hairstyles, but I'm also not somebody who would, and this isn't on anybody, just wants to keep the hairstyle the same as they always have done. I've always expressed myself as well through my hair. So maybe you could tell if I was this, that, and the other through my hair, where my sister has always had it quite the same. She's never really, she's too scared to change something up because it's that fear of change, what people may think, so on and so forth. I have never been like that. I just do me on the timeline of my path. And if I feel like changing something up, I will do, because that's me being me, my true authentic self, and not being scared that, oh, if I do this, what is everyone else going to think? I just think, fuck it, I'm going to do it, because it's not my path is not their path. So going into the whole dread thing now, because I don't want to be on there too long, because I've got something good that I'm going doing in a bit. So this came in the beginning of this year in January. It still needs neatening up, and it does. And ladies out there, if anyone's thinking of having it done, because I took a couple out and I'm trying to put them back in again, it isn't actually, hi Dolly, oh what's glorious, yeah, it's a glorious day. It isn't actually, see the loops that are looping now, it isn't actually an actual carefree hairstyle in a sense, because if you want it to look neat, you do sort of have to look after it, and you do have to sort of do all this. I'm a bit lazy, but I have to do it now because now it's getting a bit messy, you know, otherwise it would all like go into one big dread. So you do have to like split it. I use a crochet needle to just, for anyone who doesn't know, when you get little scraggly bits that are stuck out like this, you need to pull them back in, because what happens is the loose hair that comes out that you've got to put back in, because this is like Velcro, it starts attaching everywhere, and it actually can hurt if you don't sort it out. So you do actually have to maintain it. You can either go and pay for it or maintain it yourself. I have paid for it once to be maintained in the whole, I had it done in January, what we're in now, 11 months I think I've nearly had it for now. Is it nearly 11 months anyway. It'd be a year in the beginning of January, so you know, but I'm actually doing it myself because I can do it myself. So I just think, well, if I can do it myself, I can do it myself. And obviously with the whole quarantine thing, I'm doing it myself. Yeah, it's like needle felt and so, and it's quite therapeutic actually, but it does take a bit of time, especially mine are quite long, so I've got them down today. You know, they're here. So the whole thing was at the beginning of the year, when I was going through my whole awakening, and I've just realised today that I think it was last year, 17 and 7, see? I think it was last year when I went to a convention, and I don't need to say what convention, most people know. I think it was last year, it wasn't the year before. Was it last year? With Roxanne. I'm sure it was last year. If it was year before, then that's gone too quick, but I think it was last year. I don't know if anyone remembers when I went to the convention with Roxanne. Yes, it was a Flat Earth convention, just saying. It was the people that I loved meeting. Yeah, and do you know what, Effie? When I went to get them maintained off the dread maintainer, she was like, do you know what? Seeing as you don't do much and you're quite lazy with your dreads, they're still in really good nick. So we're just waiting for that in my ear to go past. It's still there. Doesn't normally last that long. Anyway, I'll carry on. So, I think it was last year. I don't know if you remember, I'm sure I went to the convention last year. Well, you remember when I painted the picture and then I started seeing the orbs? I think I went to the convention in July, June or July. Painted the picture around that time. Well, it couldn't have been the year before. If it was the year before, that's bonkers. Still 17 and 7. And then in around September last year, I think, was when the orbs started coming in, when I started seeing them. I've always felt something, but seeing them. Yeah, I think it was last year, so we'll call it last year, not that it really matters. Oh, thank you, Kelly Jones. Is that the Kelly Jones from over Instagram? I don't know, but if it is, hi. And I got dreads done a few weeks ago. Well, I will tell you, Kelly, if you've never had them done before, I will just say to people before I go into it, love dreads. I had many style. Yeah, is when I first got mine done. Oh my god, I had this bit done. I took it out myself actually, and it does take ages, believe me. Oh, hi Kelly Jones, thank you. I thought it was you. I was like, I think it's Kelly. I had all this in, so I had all this dreaded as well, but I just found it a bit too harsh on my face because I've got like bigger features and stuff, and I just thought it was just a bit irritating. So I actually took my dreads out because you can, but it takes ages. Conditioner and a needle and everything, and I wanted a fringe put in. And then you all saw when I took it out, this bit was down there, and then I've cut it in, and then if I want to grow this bit out a little bit again, and have it out, I can. But I like that bit of softness, a bit of hair bit of hair to play with. And you can get very many styles with dreads. I had it in a plait last night, and it is fun, and it does thicken your hair up actually, even though my hair wasn't thin anyway. But I will tell you, ladies, if anyone's got them done, like Kelly has just said she got them done a few weeks ago, or was thinking of getting them done. Hi, Dolly, my dreads are about 10 centimetres long. Ooh, I did get mine extended a little bit because my natural hair was about here, and they shrunk. They do shrink, believe me, they shrink before they come back down. So, and then I'll be able to take them little bits out when they come back down because I needed to get it up. But if anyone's ever thinking of getting them, men or women, I mean, you can do the natural thing. I had mine, made, put in, already done and that because I didn't want to wait. But there's still a waiting process with it, believe it or not. But if you want them neat, you do have to, do all this, and you can, I do it myself. Like, see this bit here? This needle I don't normally use, so I don't like it. You sort of just needle felt it back in. Sort of thing like that. But you can put sprays on to make them smell nice. They're not dirty. You can wash your hair. I normally wash my hair once a week. They do take a long time to dry, and I normally do it in the morning and leave it all day to dry. And I sort of put it up like this, let this bit, I do get a hairdryer on it. I blast it off a little bit, and then I put it up like this, and I let all this bit dry a bit naturally. Then I let that dry. Normally before I go to bed it is dry, and if it's a little bit damp, then I'll blast it again with a hairdryer a little bit, just because you don't want to go to bed with damp dreads, because you can get dread rot if you're leaving them too damp. If you went and washed them before you went to bed, I wouldn't really say it's a good idea. But they're not dirty like some people think. That's just a label people do. Maybe they might have seen one with smelly dirty dreads. I'm sorry, that don't really look after them. There are people that do that, but I don't. But like I said, but there are cons and pros, because they do, if you've just got them, Kelly, and you've never had them before, they go through a bit of a stiff stage if you've had them put in, and they go through a bit of a stiff stage with mine sticking out everywhere, and I was thinking, oh my god, I don't know if I've done the right thing. And going to bed, oh my god, was like, I had mine done over 16 hours. I had to go for 2 days because my hair was long, it was thick as well, and she was putting them in and adding a little bit on, so it was 16 hours, and she had to do half a head, and then I had to go back to bed, the other half done the next day. And when I went to bed that night, it was like, oh, because it's like sleeping on they're pretty hard. They do soften up. These have softened up. That's why they're quite movable now. But when I first got them, they were like, meh, and it was like, oh. But they do start softening up, and then they start doing all this. They start, see where that's connected? What it would have done. And they start looping. There's the loopy ones. Looping like this. This is when they suck up. They go up with shorter. But you can get that a bit out by doing this. and I do crochet a bit to bring them back down. But many people do different things with dreads in different ways. There's no wrong or right way of doing them. But what I will say is, you know, you do have to care for them if you don't want them all to mat up. You know, I've got a lot of hair out at the minute that needs putting back in. If you look after them, they'll look after you. So, as I go on, when I first got my... So you might find them quite stiff at first, Kelly, but in the end, if you persevere, because I've had mine in for nearly a year now, and as we all know, I thought I was going to take them out, but I didn't. I took a few out of the top, and I regret that now because it takes ages to put them back in, and I've just got a few more to put back in where I took a bit more out on top, and I thought, no, I'll just have this bit out and leave the rest, because I actually do love them now. I was going through 2 stages where I was like, I don't know, maybe not, I'm not sure, still twisting, yeah. So, but that's just like life, because at the end of the day, what I found with my dreads is it was a change, and with change, yeah, they're softening. With change, it does help you grow, because with change, people go in fear. Now, I don't know if I was a bit like, oh, do I want them? Do I have I done the right thing? Blah, 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 blah. But I'm actually glad I've persevered and I didn't take them all out, even though it probably would have took me about a month to take out. Because believe me, to take one of these out takes about 3 hours just to take one out. So it's quite tedious work and stuff like that. So you do really have to be committed when you get dreads, even though you can get them out after so many years. It just takes ages to get them out, and you might need a trim after. It doesn't mean you have to chop all your hair off or shave your head off. It's just, it does take a long time. Thank you, Susie Cute. Yeah, and I think they suit me. I've always loved the dread look. You know, it's not for one culture, as some people think, because it's been in many cultures and things in ancient times as well. And going back, when I look at where my family originate from and stuff like that, the Celts and Vikings, and even Nordic, my name goes back to Vikings. Vikings had braids, dreads, and loads of other people did in India and all over the world. So when people come and say that, that's just uneducated people who just think it's set to one thing. And also, because my hair's naturally curly, if you're a curly lady, curly hair is quite difficult to look after, and the longer it gets, mine was getting knottier, greasier for some reason, and it was just, and I don't like putting, you know, mousse or hairspray. I don't put hairspray in things, well, I don't now. I've never really been into the whole putting products on my hair, because I believe your hair is an antennae, which most people know, and if you think about it, you're spraying something and gunking your hair up with this like gunk, where your antennae, you know, as above like a tree, your branches are not like sort of taking in all that light, and they're not, you know, they're just not taking in all the codes and things around us, the energy. Hi Eleanor, Ella, sorry. Only water what? Still twisted. Oh yeah, only water, sorry, yeah, I didn't know what you were saying then. So, and that's what I've always believed. And when you look into the spiritual meaning of dreads and things, it's, you know, as they say, when you lose your hair, you know, and a lot of women and men lose their hair fall, which is natural, you don't normally get that with dreads, because your hair fall goes into your dreads, and that's how your hair thickens up. And some people say in some spiritual, you know, communities with dreads and things like that. That's why a lot of people in the Middle East grow their hair long. I'm not saying in dreads, but they grow their hair long because it's an antennae. And when you're not losing the hair, it's like, see your hair as energy and everything, you know, that goes on. Think about where your hair goes in the top of your head, where, you know, your realm of consciousness up there. When your hair's shedding, they say it's like energy just being give out. It's a bit like your DNA as well, in your strands, but you don't get that really much at all with dreads, because that hair goes into your dreads, so you're not losing. And that's why a lot of people, when they have dreads, if they ever want to cut them off, it is a bit like a ceremony, and people get upset but it's a change as well, because it's like a change. All that energy that you've been storing for years, when you cut it off, they see that as a release. And that is, again, when I say women will go, I've washed that man right out of my hair, I'm having a big change up, I'm going to cut my hair, because it's that energy release of hair, if anyone gets what I'm saying, and then freshly grown. And that's why I'm glad, thank you, Yo Holo, that I put mine in and I've persevered with it and thought, no, because when I started coming into myself, true higher self, which I believed happened I mean, you go through a few last year and this year, especially with the orbs and the light and my divinity of light, of that journey when it started, really sort of properly kicked in. Last year, it's like when I got my hair done. So all that knowing and energy, if you like to say, is in what's going on here. Yeah, wear a turban. I've got big headbands. You can do loads with dreads. It's really good. I can actually do more hairstyles than I could before. And when it softens up, Kelly, when you can put braids in, if your hair's longer or not, it softens up the braid as well. Because at first, I mean, obviously braids are a bit stiffer than normal hair. This was really stiff. It's like it just used to stick up, but it's softer now. So I've got beads in. I need a few more because I've lost them, and I've got oh, by the way, Kelly, I will be doing some. I was meant to do this ages ago. Some dread beads. This is a crystal rose quartz. It's natural rose shape. It's a rose quartz. So I do wear crystals in my hair as well. That one stayed in. That one doesn't fall out. But I've had a few metal beads that have seemed to have. There's one. Don't even know where they are. Disappeared, fell out of my hair, but that's okay. I'll get some more, but I can make dread beads as well for anyone interested. So yeah, it's just the whole thing of everyone fears change. So me, when I was like, oh, I think I want to take my dreads out, it's like, no, persevere with it. Persevere on your path. Persevere with the person you're becoming. Persevere with your with your journey, even with your hair, because in the end, it'll be worth it. And this is the same as, in the end, this path that we're all on individually, but the same, it will be worth it. I get bits of pain sometimes when these hairs connect because I've left it too long and not, got it maintained. We all go through pain on our path anyway. If I want my dreads to be beautiful, I've got to focus on them a little bit and give me some sacred time to look after my dreads, by rolling them and giving myself some sacred time to sort them out. So they are what I envision them to be, if anyone gets what I'm saying. No, it's not. So where's the Dalai Lama? It's Dalai Lama, remember, the Dalai Lama. It's asleep in there. Hi, Debbie. So the hair thing is a symbol to me on my path, nobody else, just to me, of my perseverance with my path of standing strong with it. Like I said, I was wobbling a bit like, oh, should I take them out? And something in me was going, no, you got them done for a reason. I personally think they suit me. I'm not interested in what any other silly comments or if anyone comes after. I personally like them and I'm keeping them in because it shows that, I didn't just get them on a whim because I wanted to look trendy, which, dark energies out there will put out. I got them done for a spiritual reason and I also got them done for myself. It wasn't for anything else. It was also done for because of my hair type as well. So it wasn't just a spiritual thing, though that was the biggest part of it. It was actual because of my I know about longer hair and I wanted to grow it out, but my curly hair, even though my curly hair was beautiful, but I don't like straightening my hair. Don't mind straightening my fringe, my bangs, but I didn't like straightening my hair all the time and for curls because I believe your hair, they say it's dead, it's not, it's an antennae. And I'm just putting this out there, it doesn't matter if people straighten the hair, but I think just too much straightening, there's a balance, can sort of, it's like frying your antennae. And I'm just not like that about my hair. So I just thought the easiest way for me to have it in a sort of straightish, because this isn't curly, way without straightening it was the best thing for me. Maybe not everybody, but the best thing for me. And there might be people who go and get dreads. Like Kelly said, she's just got them and you might find out if it's not for you. I've seen people only have them in for 10 months and they took them out. But see, that's what I got up to, about 10 months. And I'm like, oh, or 9 months or whenever it was, I said. And then it was like, should I take them out? But I pushed past that and thought, no, because I think you're going to regret it. You'll look back and think, why did you, you can always have them put back in. Why did you take them out? But that's just proving that thing of, no, you've got to hold strong with, that intuitive knowing of when you wanted them done and why you wanted them done and how my true authentic self wants to be seen in the very near future. And I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow, folks, of my visualization of me. And it's okay to have a visualization of you, of how you want to look on the exterior of your transformation, because remember, we're all going through a transformation, and a lot of people, when they go through transformations, can sometimes look a little bit different. Like I said, women will go and get their hair done, they'll buy new clothes, whatever. We're not talking about the actual materialism, is it? We're just talking about an expression, because that's what it is. Push on, you strong woman. Thank you, Miss Q. Yeah, and I do believe I'm a strong woman, and that's why I said the other few days ago, I'm so looking forward to my new book in the new year, meaning my book, myself. I don't mean I'm writing a book, I just mean book. Well, I'd like to call them what I like to call them. If I want to call them dreads, I'll call them dreads. That's up to me. You know, when people just come in and say that, I just think it's rude, because if I choose them to call them dreads, I'll call them dreads. Locks or dreads, it doesn't make no difference. It's just a label. You know what I mean? So thank you, but if that's up to you, that's, you know, I'm not just going to start calling them locks when I call them dreads. It doesn't matter to me. People get too into the labels, you know. But like I said, on my journey, and it's hard to get too into labels these days, because everyone labels everything. Yeah, exactly. So it's hair at the end. It's hair end of, exactly. It's just hair. So yeah, and it's beautiful, and that's why I said I'm so looking forward to, because it's not about what the name of them is called. This is about my journey, and why I got them done, and the actual meaning behind the symbolism of dreads for me, or locks, if that's what you want to call them, in my journey, is the persistence of, like what I've been talking about lately, not my hair, the actual spiritual awakening we're all going through within ourselves, and how we push forward and stay strong on that path. Like I said, I've never wobbled on the path I'm on with my beliefs of what most people know in chart, with certain Mr. T and the letter 17, you know, the number 17 I should say, which is the letter Q. Even though I know that's beyond that is the spiritual path that we take when we come through our awakening of what's going on in 3D. And then your transformation within yourself is alchemy. And the splitting of cells is basically, like that woman just said, then the splitting of cells is of yourself, of your cells in your body, is when something's split and split and split and split and split and fractured, because people put labels on it. And then it's split and it's split and it's split. So Redemption Song 1, yeah. So you know, and that is the it's psychological and spiritual warfare lockdowns. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's not call it locks anyway, you know, going on with the lockdown, because I ain't locked down in my mind, you know what I mean? So this is why I'm saying my new book of life next year, you know, when we go back into that, which I'd really say the new year is springtime, as we all know, but whatever. Hi, morning, little llama. Hi, Michael. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm so looking forward to my next page in my book, and I hope you're all looking forward to your next page in your book, because we write our own stories in our books for nobody else. And my experience in that, what I just said before about cutting my sister's hair when I was younger, that is one of my diaries, you know, so we're going to call it Dolly Diaries. I think sometimes we're going to have a Dolly Diary chat. And I'm looking forward to seeing me transform again. I'm looking forward to me being the I have a vision of myself that I hold in my head that is like my higher self, that is, you know, my mastery of myself. People go on about ascended masters. Well, we all are when we master our emotions and this stuff, but it isn't, you know, we're still going to be going on doing it every year and learning more about ourselves. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward for me to becoming more calmer within myself, all these things that, you know, when we go into one, we learn more about, and we don't get triggered so much. But at the minute, we do get triggered because we are actually in a war. So it's a bit hard sometimes to embody yourself. Yeah, embody your high self, exactly. It's a bit hard, it's a bit difficult in these times. It's not, because we're doing it, but you do get triggered because we are, a lot of people don't know out there, even a lot of spiritual people, we are in a spiritual war. And we know things are coming into attack in so many different ways, as I spoke the other day. So that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow, some of those things, that what we can visualize for your, how you've always really seen your true self, not the self that we've tried to put out there in the past because of labels and the unworthy that we think we are. So we're always looking to be seen, and, you know, whatever that is, but our true soul self. So yes, yeah, keep positive whatever they throw at you. Exactly. And that's why I do it, because the one thing they want you to do is they want you to crumble, but we don't. Um, yeah, yeah. But I mean that, that thing in yourself of mastering your own energies, your own chemical process, and because it is a process we go through, and the process is alchemy. It's like I said before, all the chemicals within you, learning not to get so bothered about, like I said, the other Infinite Waters did a really good chat on not bothering about what other people think, because what was going on the other week and with other people is, yeah, I was giving my energy away there and I shouldn't have been, because what it is with that is people using you as a to be seen themselves. And he just explained it really well. And someone who personally doesn't know me, doesn't matter. So there's all that going on. Oh no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Michelle Links TV. If you've been watching for a bit, I do get feisty on here sometimes, and it's not you. It's when I've said this before. When people put thing in a chat, it's very hard if you don't do live chats to know how someone's coming across in text. That's why I hate texts. Sometimes when I'm trying to communicate with people, I hate texts, and sometimes I always do the audio thing, because you can't tell how someone's being. But I do know what you mean with the whole lock and dread thing, but that's what I've always called them, so that's what I feel comfortable with. Do you know what I mean? So don't worry about that. I didn't think that. It's just that it's hard sometimes when people come in like that sometimes. So people call them, yeah, locked, whatever. I actually call them my snakes. That's what my son calls them. A bit like Medusa, but you know what? Medusa wasn't really she wasn't really that bad. And I'd just like to say, women out there, I'll tell you what goddess I feel like. And if people go, oh, goddess, worshipping goddesses, I am a goddess, and all you women out there are goddesses, and all you men out there are gods within, do you know what I mean? Because we are a part of. Is when you look at a deity or a goddess or a god, it's just the energy of. In this book of life, we have lots of energies or ascendant masters. It's the energy of sides of yourself that you will see in a certain deity or god. And I'll tell you which one I feel like, which one I'm radiating at the minute. I love your dreads. How do you do your roots? You just um, twist. I do a bit of this. All the bits that come out. I personally get a crochet hook and pull them back in again. You can watch videos on it if you put it in YouTube. Loads of people do it. But basically, that's what I do. Can you think, if anyone can think of any goddesses, could you think of who I might be, who I quite like? Yeah. Infinite Waters was talking about end of times, everyone is feeling it or even manifest it probably. Yeah, Infinite Waters talks about end of times, but we know what the end of times is. It's the, splitting of the worlds. It is the great division that's going on, but when we come back, but it's also, people getting fear of the end of the world, and we know when he talks about it's not that, it's just the end of the old world, the end of the deceit, the end of the illusion that's going on, that we all know that's happening. Do you know what I mean? That's why I say keep calm and keep flowing forward. So She-Ra, wow, yeah, it could be She-Ra. I'll tell you the one I looked up, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to draw a picture of this. I have dreads, yours are because too neat and beautiful. Yeah, I do. Do you know what? I don't look after them that much though, but they've done quite well. But I need to start maintaining them a little bit more. A bit Wonder Woman. Old goddesses, like Greek goddesses. Let me find it. I looked at one, I thought, yeah, that'd be me. I wouldn't be like Aphrodite, all love and that, and though she was other things, but because there's two sides of the flip coin, you know what I mean? Women, you look at a lioness, the lioness looks after children and she'd be quite nurturing, but I swear to God, mess around with us. And that fighting fit, no. I'll show, I'll tell you, where is it? Right, let me... Athena, exactly, Athena. Yes, Miss Q. I'm just bringing it up here. Look, I'm like, Athena. I was like, oh yeah, that's the energies that I'm holding at the minute. So it is. It says, because it made me laugh because it said, Athena, often given, well, what is it? An ancient Greek goddess associated with wisdom, handicraft, that's what made me laugh. And warfare, well, no shit, Sherlock, because they're going through a spiritual war. That just cracked me up. Let me see if it's got, someone called me Athena before myself. Well, there you go. It just made me laugh. So it says Athena referred as Athena, oh, whatever that's saying. It is a very important goddess of many things. She is a goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, maybe not that strength, strategy, the arts, crafts and skill. I thought, yeah, that's the sort of goddess I want to embody. Sometimes you might think you're all sweet and all that. I'm like, yeah. She is known most specifically for her strategic skill in warfare and is often portrayed as the companion of heroes and is a patron goddess of her heroic endeavour. I thought, this needs to be drawn out. This needs to be drawn out. Oh, yes. And it was just going on and I thought, whoa. Athena was a fierce and ruthless warrior. I thought, yes. Praised for her compassion and generosity. Athena was a patron of arts and crafts. No shit, Sherlock, I was. Especially when it came to spinning and weaving. Yeah. Zeus trusted her to wield the, whatever that says of his thunderbolt. Yeah. Bit like Trump, innit? She's referred to poetry as the grey-eyed, the owl. Oh, it's funny that, isn't it? There you go. The owl. The owl was her bird, and I've got two birds in there as well. And the olive tree was hers. She turned the weaver into a... Yeah, it just makes me laugh. But anyway, I'm like, Yeah, sorry, so I was just reading that out. But I'm like, yeah, Athena, engaging with that energy of Athena. I thought that is definitely me because in the past, when you see so-called spiritual people and you're like, oh, they're so lovely and sweet and loving, which a lot are, and that's great. And, they're probably embodying like all those really love energies and maybe Aphrodite or something, with love. And I thought, yeah, it'd be lovely to be like that, but guess what? I'm not. I'm more of a warrior type. Doesn't mean I don't love, doesn't mean I don't have compassion, but about mathematics, really, I look at the numbers, not as in adding on just the numbers, but oh, that's funny. Does anyone get what I'm saying? Well, look at critical thinker in there with 3137. But if anyone gets what I'm saying, you could look at the goddesses, for instance, of Greek goddesses if you wanted to, and see what you resonate with. I'm definitely embodying Athena at the minute because I do my crafts, but I'm warring in a spiritual war. I'm warring in a battle with a spiritual war, and I won't give up. I'm wielding that flipping thunderbolt, I'm telling you, and that's why I won't give up. And my power's coming in with me online self, which I was trying to say before. Yeah, you always get what I'm saying. I know you get what I'm saying. The spiritual thing, the one about mathematics, Miss Q. Oh, do you mean when Q said, when it comes mathematically... Oh, what was the thing that was said ages ago? The when things come mathematically, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's what I mean when it's like there is no such things as coincidences, but he said it in a mathematical way. They said it in a mathematical way, actually. But yeah, I just want to say before I go, as I said, when I came into my journey and I really stepped into myself last year, because you have a lot of awakenings, within yourself. And then one of my true awakenings was last year with the orbs. And, I got that vision the other day anyway when I said, oh my God, I'm so happy that I've actually stepped into my own higher divinity. And I realised what that is within me. It's not anyone else's story, it's mine. Gematria, and a lot of us know about gematria. So, yeah, that's true. mathematics, not the one we're taught at school necessarily, but, and I feel that, and that's why I can't wait for the new year, practical, and the new year and everything, and watching myself grow. I'm watching myself grow. My higher self is watching me grow, and I'm absolutely loving it where this journey is taking me. And it'll seem scary to some people sometimes. This is what I was trying to say about the hair, when you have a new hairstyle or whatever it is, and it's like, should I keep it in, should I take it out? It's like, no, push forward, stay strong, stay with it. That was just symbolism of that, because you will reap the rewards, and you will be glad that you did it. And I can't wait for what I'm also reconnecting back with is my true, authentic feminist. I don't mean the feminist that came in, under whatever. I'm talking about the real feminine divine within me. And that doesn't mean that you're all sweetie, sweetie, lovey, lovey, feminine. We are warriors as well, because, what's been going on as well as going after the children. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm also saying this is why the group that I'm going to be talking about putting together, and thank you for the people that are commenting on all different platforms about they'd love to join. I will let you know that nearer the time, but if you haven't, just let me know, because that will be a part of empowering your feminine side, and I'll be putting that together. And that, like I said, that'll be coming in the very near future, maybe in January. I'm not sure yet, but it will be at the beginning of the year at some point. And I just want people there that want to be there and who want to come over with me and see what I can create with that. And if it helps people, then that's what I love. Violet and Indigo today. Yeah, it's my Violet and Indigo, Indigo 7. So I'm going to be putting that together, and the people that come in, and I probably will do a little bit of maybe a thing where it's for so many weeks. Each week we're doing something, and maybe there might be a money exchange. I'll say that now. It might be just £5 for 6 or 8 weeks, only because I want people who are authentic that are coming in. And I think if there's a little bit of a money exchange like that, because I'm giving my I do a lot on a lot of platforms, my energy over, that it's not people that are just coming in to be looking for something or trolling, or not really there for the right reasons, if you get what I'm saying, because I don't want that. That's why I'm going to do it on a private platform, because I want people in that want to do it and that are interested in doing stuff and things that I bring in with my creativity, because I'll bring creativity into it, because that's what I do anyway, if anyone gets what I'm saying. But I will talk about that nearer the time, and that's only like £5, like a coffee donation in it, or a bloody sandwich and a coffee. Do you know what I'm saying? Cup of tea and some biscuits. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people out there that want everything for free, and I've got to look at stuff sometimes like everything can't be for free. As much as some people say in spiritual community, we've got to give everything out, I do give a lot out, believe me. I give a lot out. I give extra things out sometimes on other platforms with different things that I bring in, jewelry, certain stuff, and I'm on here quite a lot. So you can't just be giving your energy to others all the time where they're not giving back in some sort of, do you know what I'm saying? Even though it is times that we are sharing, but people get mixed up with the whole energetic thing. But I just think if it's reasonable, there's not a problem with it. And I don't think that there is a problem with like a cup of coffee and a biscuit, you know what I mean, for like 6 to 8 weeks of putting something out there and bringing something. So, but we'll just see. Maybe it won't, but maybe it will, because like I said, it's got to be, I want authentic people over there that actually want to, be in my energy and maybe want to be around what I can give them. If you get something off here anyway, yeah, your time is worth, Dolly, you don't need to explain. No, I don't, thank you, Miss Q, but I'm just explaining to some people that may come across and want to do it but don't understand why, because you always get them sort of people. So it's out there and been put out there transparently. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, she said she was going to do it for free and I just run off. And it's like, I'll see what I think at the time, because my intuitive self will guide me on the right path of what that is and how I'm going to put it together and how it's going to work, because in the future I want other things to be happening with people, and I want to grow myself, and I actually want to grow. There's lots of things I want to bring in on my path to help others as well, because like I said before, this is what it's about. It's that is still service to others, and it's people coming with the solutions. There's a lot of people talking about, oh yeah, the light, and we're all loving, blah 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 blah. And yeah, we do all talk about frequencies and all them good things that are coming in and what we should be doing, because other people are just waking up, so we're helping them through. But there's also right, who are the people bringing the solutions? You know, you can talk all day long. You can talk all day long, but who's bringing the solutions in all different areas? And there's abundance for all. Everyone can do it. You know, everyone can put an idea together and do whatever they're doing, and a lot of people are doing the same sort of things with workshops and all sorts of different things, because that's what's coming in. But there's space for everybody. You just go to who you resonate with and who you understand and whose energy you want to be in, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe I'm 6, I've added up 33. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, really coming into myself this year, I'm I was going to say I'm 45 then. I'm 43. So 43 is 7. I said the number 7. They say 7-year cycles, sometimes something happens. So that's funny. But the 7 again. So I know that by the end of this year, we've got to let a lot of the shit go that's been going on again. It's releasing again for the new year, because what's about to happen again with new energies coming in, and how you're going to fill your vessel up and so on and so forth. So like I said, I'm so looking forward to my new year. I don't know I'm not in fear of what's coming, because I don't know. I'm talking about the sense with me, with new projects and new things that I want to bring in, but I know it's going to work and I know it's going to be good, because it's the love and the joy that I'm putting into that, of the knowingness that I'm trusting myself. A bit like the video that I put up with Trump on my community page when he was 35. And he talked about, basically he was talking about law of attraction and energy and money, where people get, oh, and he talked about that. We all know that. We all know he knows about energy. So, do you know what I mean? And this is all for you lot as well. Yeah, true. You can't give away everything. This is great chat. My birthday is 3/1. Thank you, Michelle. Well, Michelle, that's the thing as well, what you've just said there. You can't, a lot of people want everything for free these days. And a lot of people don't want to do the work themselves. So if they want to be given everything, you have to do the work on yourself. That's why I say there's a lot of us putting stuff out, but it's our path and we're just showing. But you have to do this work. And there's a lot of people that do in the spiritual community, oh yeah, everything's free. Not everything's for free, because if everything was free, you're not going to do your stuff. And if you didn't do your own work and you can't be bothered, you know what I mean, you're not actually doing your own work. You're just acting as if you are and you're not. And they're the people that always moan about money, are the ones who are like, oh, well, you're not going to give me, like, what have I got to make jewellery and give it everyone to free? I do give bits and bobs out now and again, but do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that want everything for free, because it's a me system that's been brought in with the system, and that's what they want. Greedy me. I don't want to give anything back, you know. I'll sit and take, and it's all right for, like, say, for me to come on a lot and talk and express, and I am on for quite a long time. It's not a 5-minute job. That's just the way I flow. Sorry if people don't like long videos, but that's just me. But when I actually do my other thing that I'm going to bring in, they won't be dead long, because I know people just want little short bursts of, I don't mean it'll be short, but it's not going to be as long as I normally do it. They want everything for free, you know, and it doesn't work like that. There's so much you can give out, but then again, there's so much of other people that should be giving back as well, because that's how it works. It's give and take, transmit. You know, you can transmit it out, take it, and then you give it back in other ways. It doesn't necessarily mean it's money all the time, but there's a lot of people out there that don't get that. Brightest blessings, Dolly, and all. Have a fantastic day. You too. So I'm going to go, because I think that's all I needed to say. I'll be on tomorrow, like I said, with the next thing we're doing in the book. If anyone's doing that, you know, that's just there if anyone needs it, whatever I talk about tomorrow. I'm about to go and do something I've not done for a few years. No, I'll tell you about that tomorrow. That's going to be a laugh, but that's good, because it'll be joyful, even if I'm laughing at myself while I'm doing it, because that's frequency. 2021 got it and will be back. Of course it will, Michelle. It's going to be, we're putting it out there. 2021, Mayan calendar, 2012, swapped round. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year if you're working on yourself, especially in your higher realms, your heavenly realms of your mindset and what you're bringing in and releasing. If you're doing that, you're going to find it a lot easier, like I said. And the one, when we talk, birds! Yes, when we talk about being one, that just doesn't mean the being oneness of, like, everybody being one. It's you going back to one with yourself. So the oneness you're going to is actually yourself. I am motivated. If you give out something that you feel you don't have to, and that's close to your heart, then that deserves a reward. That's what I mean. I don't have to come on here and do all the stuff I've talked about Whether people like it or not, I don't have to. But I just have this innate feeling that, you know, the stuff I do come and talk about it's just a knowing that I know I have to do it. They're screaming in there like, what are you saying? Yes? What are you saying? Yeah, they're agreeing, they're saying concentrate on yourself and go in with the oneness of yourself. Go back to the oneness of yourself, not what's out there, not what someone else is, or trying to be like someone else. Be the true you and go within and be in oneness with yourself. One with yourself. That's what most of it's about, one with yourself. Not all this, yeah, we've got to be one with everyone else. Well, there's people I don't want to be one with. There's people I am not one with. I mean, in these people of the dark side of these, oh, let's all be love over there with the paedophilic people and the Satan. No thanks, because I'm not one with that. Be one with myself, not that. So it's all about being one with thyself, whole. Bringing back to one, because remember, before I go, if we were whole, see it as a big orb, Effie, you have hundreds of hours content videos, if not thousands. I know, because I know. I don't even know how many I've got. I don't count. I don't know. I wouldn't even know off the top of my head. If you're whole, like a cell, yeah, like an orb, because that's our energy as well. That's our cellular. That's our energy coming out of us as well. If you're a whole cell, and your cell has been picked apart and pulled apart and fractured, because that's what's happened over time. As soon as you were born with the labelling, what you are and what you're not, are you worthy, are you this person said this and this, that cell becomes many different cells in what's the word, bobulated? What does it mean, disbobulated? You know what I'm like, everywhere, and you're everywhere. And trying to be, and you're trying to find yourself again of your one self, cell, to come back together. And that's what we're doing. We're like catching it all, like, there was a part of me, and that was a part of me, and that was a part of me. Yeah, it may be, maybe not like that, but you're still bringing it into whole of you, because it still is the whole of you. So get your fishing nets out, yeah, this is just coming in now, and catch your disbobulated selves, put them back together by saying, you are part of me, but I release the parts that, omnipresence, exactly. That, yeah, because they're everywhere. Omnipresence, everywhere in all things at all times. Give them love, and that will just release that bit that you thought that was bad, that was this, that was that, and bring it whole back into yourself. And when you do that and love yourself, it will release all that anyway. So, yes. Yeah, we're just trying to make, what was that song? Didn't make yourself whole. Looking back on when we first met. Why is that song just came in? I cannot escape and I cannot. See, sometimes a lot of songs that you think about relationships are actually the relationships with oneself. Why is that song came in? Who's that by? I cannot forget. What's that song? Yeah, Unfractured. You can make me whole again. Let me see that. I need to go to that song. Whole again. Looking back on where we first met. I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Baby, you're the one. You still tell me. Oh, it's by Atomic Kitten. Atomic. That's just made me laugh. I'm just going to have to look at it now. You make yourself whole again. Nobody else does. No relationship does. You do with the relationship with yourself. Oh, what song was this? If you see me walking down the street, staring at the sky and dragging my feet, you just pass me by, it still makes me cry, but you can make me whole again. See, moving around. But it was more like that. Looking back on when we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Baby, you're the one, you still turn me on. You can make me whole again. It's you that turned yourself on, as in not that way. I mean, turning your power on. This is how I see this. You make yourself whole again. No relationship, no marriage, no man, no woman. It's you that does it. I wonder why I've never been married. I do laugh at that now because I think, yeah, there's another thing behind that with a video I might show you tomorrow. Time is lying heavy on my heart. Seems I've got too much of it since we've been apart. My friends make me smile, but only for a while. You can make me whole again. People can make you smile and happy, but you are the one within you, the relationship with you that makes you happy. No relationship around you. I don't care what anyone says. A fella, your husband, your boyfriend, your mum, your dad, whoever, your sister. It's you. People go into relationships thinking, oh yeah, I really like you and I love you, and they're always feeding off each other like, oh, you do that and then that makes me feel better. But really, you've got to realise that it's only you that makes yourself whole again. And that person also has to realise that it's not the other person. Yes, you see attributes in, and you see things in people that are beautiful, and you want to be more like that. That's why some people, go to people like, oh, feeding off your light, so, whatever. But when those two people realise that it's them that make themselves happy, that's why you have to have space for yourself sometimes, and that's why I say women should have the sacred little rituals, and that just means things like putting candles on in the bath, or doing little journals in the morning with a candle, something where your husband's not with you. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that sacred space to... Women are different from men. And this is why I said when I do the group, I'm not doing it with men because I'm not a man. Women are different from men. And they have their own little things. And that's not different as in, we're better or no. It's just we work different. But there's a loss of the sacred woman. And the sacred woman's path. And that's what's coming in, with... remember, but also on the divine masculine, you're remembering who you are, and each of us make ourselves whole again. It's not really the relationship we're in, it's a relationship with yourself. And once you're whole, when you do get with someone, or realise that within a relationship and you're both working on each other as a whole of yourself, you will realise, with a W by the way, that it will work better because you're not looking outside yourself to feed yourself. You've got all that within. So that becomes a beautiful union. Not a union of where people rush around to get married today, sorry, and I want the wedding in the big dress and I want everyone to look at me and think it's not about that. That's why most people get divorced these days, because they're not actually whole and they're not actually loving themselves. They're looking for someone else to give them security, and that person's got money so I'll be secure, or this person's got that, or this, that, and that's why it doesn't work. Yeah, thanks Effie. Well, I did get that in the ear before. Do you remember I was like, yeah. So remember, and that's why that dream I had about the big sphere of light where I got told I was healing and I was going to help heal others, and that's where I'm staying with the white light. That is the whole. It's the whole of you. We're bringing back your little cells back into the whole one cell that we started off as before it started separating, and through labels and everything else when we came into this world, and you were separated on many different levels. So I'm going to go because I've got shit to do, and I'm going to see you, I'll see you tomorrow for Mindset Mondays. Remember, crayons and felt tips, and to do your hands, because I'll be showing you my hand design of past and future, the whatever I was waffling on about last week, and what we're letting go of and what we're bringing in. If you've done that, you might still be working on it. I'll show you mine tomorrow, and whatever comes in that chat tomorrow. So yeah, and if you'd like to make a coffee donation, which is an energy exchange, Effie has put it in chat of coffee donation. It's just whatever. If you want to, you want to, and if you don't, you don't, and that's fine. Yes, looking forward to it. Thank you, Lois. Shining your light every day. Thank you, Ordinary Bear. Thanks, everyone, for a nice chat. Yeah, thanks, everyone, for coming in. Thanks, Kelly, for actually coming in and saying hi, if that's your first time. Once I was empty and crying, I prayed to all my grandmothers, and I've known for help instantaneously. The tears stopped. I sat... Yeah, exactly, Lord Frybread. Realise how powerful you actually are. You don't actually... We are social beings. We love people around, but it's the whole... Fingers tingling now. The whole... It's just the whole... It's the whole of you coming back together. And that's what's happening. That's why I feel the orbs, when I see... I know some of that's my chi, my energy, my dharma, my energy as well. It's all energies around, but I know, when I see it coming out myself anyway, it's like I'm pulling forth my magnetic energies now, and that's coming into me because I'm online with myself, if you get what I'm saying. And we all go through that journey of that as well, and everyone's getting on that, different process of the alchemical process. Yeah, refuel with eye contact, and refuel with the sun, which is about what I'm about to do in a minute with something else. Yep. Coyote Heart Artist. So, yeah. So, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you, Effie. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.